Honourable Member for Murchison.
Thank you, Mr President. We often meet extraordinary people in our work and lives generally. And there are a few as extraordinary as one of my constituents, Chris Symonds. Unfortunately, Chris can't join us in the chamber. It's a bit of a long haul from Wynyard. Chris Symonds is a well-known Wynyard sporting and community identity, who I have actually spoken about before. Chris has been sailing since he was 9 years old and is a successful international parasailing competitor and champion. In 2002, Chris was diagnosed with Kennedy's disease, a rare genetic motor neurone disease. Kennedy's disease causes progressive muscle wasting throughout the body. 50 people in Australia living with the disease, which has no cure or treatment. In 2010, Chris gave up work as a senior manager at Caterpillar Underground Mining to focus on his health, family, sailing and community. These days, he is on a disability pension and a self-managed participant in the NDIS. And he needs support workers to train, compete and generally access the community. Mr President, Chris does not let this inhibit him at all. He is an active member of the Wynyard community and plays an important role representing many in our community who are not able to speak up for themselves. And he was recently appointed Chair of the Premier's Disability Advisory Council. When appointed to the Chair, he said, and I quote his words, "My role with PDAC is of high priority. I look forward to our role in supporting the Tasmanian Government to make good decisions for all members of all communities in which we live." Some of Chris's other roles include Senior Vice President of a large NDIS provider, Northwest Support Services, Vice President of Sailability Tasmania, Public Officer of the Motor Neurone Disease Association of Tasmania, and Unit Commander of Wynyard Volunteer Marine Rescue. He is a board member of Yachting Tasmania and was 2019 Citizen of the Year in the Waratah Wynyard community. Chris is the Commodore of the internationally recognised Wynyard Yacht Club and represents the club working with Waratah Wynyard Council on the development of a new multi-purpose foreshore facility which will include a new home for the club and much needed. This facility will be part of the Council's master plan for the Wynyard waterfront and is funded under the Federal Government's Building Stronger Regions program. Chris is actively working with all levels of government to secure funding to assist the development of the club, and his vision is to have Wynyard Yacht Club as one of the parasailing training centres in Australia. He continues to work with the Waratah Wynyard Council to ensure that community liaison and inclusion is a key driver for the new building's future. Community inclusion is the key to why the club has been so successful, and Chris believes this will continue and ensure in the future. Building works have now commenced on the new facility with piles driven 18 metres into mud where Camp Creek once flowed before it was diverted in the early 1960s to ensure the foundations are stable, with completion expected before June 2021. The club's programs are still running and so far have not been impacted by the building works. Mr President, as a previous winner of the Australian Yacht Club of the Year, the Wynyard Yacht Club was again nominated as Tasmania's entry in the National Sailing Awards as Club of the Year, along with two individual members also being nominated, Ella Klinger for Volunteer of the Year and Chris Symonds as Parasailer of the Year. This year, Chris was selected as a national winner in this category. His acceptance speech recognised many that support his training. Preparations are underway for the next para-national schedule for mid-January 2021, sailing out of the Brighton Yacht Club in Melbourne, and hopefully that will go ahead. The club is hopeful this regatta will occur, and Chris and others obviously involved in parasailing are at risk of COVID-19. So restrictions and precautions will be closely monitored by his support team. Regardless of whether it goes ahead or not, the club's structured training program on and off the water in Wynyard will continue. Chris recently has taken delivery through the NDIS of an all-terrain wheelchair that has opened up opportunities for him to travel to locations he has not seen for many years. And he's been using it very extensively, Mr President, from his Facebook posts, including Cradle Mountain, Tamar Island, Fossil Bluff and the Inglis River Track, and the Nut at Stanley with some of the destinations he's been to lately. Although the most pleasure he has received from his newfound mobility is simply being able to access the beach near his home on a daily basis, like any able-bodied person, and relax and listen to the waves lapping the beach. Mr President, I commend and acknowledge and sincerely thank Chris Symonds, a truly exceptional man who is a highly valued asset to our community.